بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. اليد العليا خير من اليد السفلى. So al-yad is with the hands. Al-ulya, the higher. Khairun, better. Min, then. Al-yad is sufla, yad, hand. Sufla, lower hand. The higher hand, the upper hand, is better than the lower hand. Meaning, the giving hand is better than the taking hand. The giving hand is better than the taking hand. Generally, when you give, the person that gives, his hand is on top. And the person that receives, his hand is at the bottom. Remember, first of all, keep few usul in mind. Even if need forces you to ask and beg, three preconditions that you should keep in mind before asking. Number one, don't belittle yourself in asking. So to an extent, self-respect is required. Two, don't go overboard when asking. Third, the person you are asking from, don't make him feel awkward. Ulama have written that if a person has sufficient clothing to cover his body and he has sufficient food for one day and one night, then it is improper, in fact haram, for him to beg of others. Then in which circumstances it will be permissible to beg? In the circumstances where you fear for your life, that if you do not consume food at this stage, either you will die or your illness will be exacerbated or your condition will worsen. Otherwise, you should not beg. Today, unfortunately, begging has become a profession. It has become a fine art. Just to enrich ourselves, we beg. And as-su'alu dhullun, to an extent, there is permission, but to ask is to belittle oneself. So as far as possible, workout means, even if you don't, to basically earn so that you don't stretch your hands. Because Hadeeth clearly states, al-yadul ulya khairu min al-yadi sufla. And the one downside is that once we become habitual, then it's easy way of getting things. Then we tend not to work. Our mashayikh have taught us such adab, such etiquettes is amazing. They said if you are giving something to your Ustadh, although you are giving, whether it is a cup, a glass, or even your parents, anybody elderly, you must put your hand at the bottom. Because the higher hand is better than the lower hand. But in this case, because it's your Ustadh, because it's your father, because it's your mother, let them always be above you. So let your hands be at the bottom, even though in this case you are giving. It's an etiquette, it's not some sunnah, it's not compulsion. But if you look, there's great beauty in it. That you keep the etiquette and respect and honor of those that are elderly. Ad-Deenu kulluha adab. Ad-Deenu kulluha adab. The entire Deen is adab and etiquette.